Hello, it's Janice here from Scrapper's Delights, and I'd like to welcome you to my first video. I'm a bit new at this, I've never done it before, so it's a little bit scary. That's why I've only decided to do it live for myself first. I don't know whether I can stream this to everybody and open it up afterwards, but this is pretty much my test. So please, obviously bear with me if there's any technical issues. But if it turns out okay, then obviously it'll be going public. Right, I've decided to do an overview of my new product, which is the basic planner. And those of you that have not found it in my store yet, it's just here. And it's in the A5 size, which is obviously half of an A4. I did this one pretty much for being economical on paper. The idea behind me doing the digital planner was because one, in some countries they can be very expensive to import if they're not readily available on shelves in your stores, and can cost just as much in import or shipping costs as they are for the actual planner, which is it eats into your budget. But not only that, for myself who likes a bit of mixed media, mixing it up a bit, using me watercolours and me pastels and markers and things like that, sometimes the paper will give very varied results on the popular planners. It's doable. I've seen some absolutely fabulous projects on YouTube and Pinterest, but for me, I want to be able to have it flexible. So I thought, well, I've made documents before in my jobs and stuff, so how hard can it be? Well, it wasn't actually hard to do the documents itself, but it was very much like a can of worms, and I'm still trying to put the lid back on. It was a case of, well, yes, I love this document, but now I need this document. And it'd be good to have that one. And well, basically, it says basic planner, but you've got a lot in there. So I thought that it might need a bit of explanation. And there might be a few of you out there that want to try something like this, but have never had any experience with digital before. So I want to do a range of videos from, like this one will be the overview of what you do get when you get the download, to printing it out, setting it up, and then planning along with me and creating. So here we go. Now, when you get your zip, you will open it up and you will be greeted with a lot of yellow files. And I think what we'll do is we'll start in a fairly methodical order, not just literally from left to right, but I'm going to go with front cover and back cover because it pretty much makes sense to me. So I've got a basic template there for you, and it is very basic. You can add to it your stamps, printed off stamps that you already possess, digi stamps you can add to that page, print them and add it to the page, however you want, whatever your technical knowledge is at present. But I will be doing further videos on how to do and to progress your technology in using, say, graphics programs and which ones are out there, for example. So there's that one, and we've got this planner belongs to, and this one's really sweet because obviously you can put a lovely image in there, and I've got the perfect image to show you, and I think I might show you it now just because I love it so much. And I think I've just dropped it on the floor. Look, how cool would that be on your planner, which would be, I love to create. That would just be the perfect one. She's got little markers in her hand and pens ready to plan. So you know, they're part of my Crafty Girls selection in my store, and you know, you can make it as pretty as you like. You can use your still use all your washi tapes and all that sort of thing. You know, we've all got plenty of those, and you don't want to see all those, do you? On this page, I'm not sure whether you can see, I might have to zoom in a little, is notes. Now obviously I want to be economical for you for paper, so I think it's really a usable document to have somewhere to record notes and things that you might find important to put on there. Where should we go next? Goals. I love to visualize my goals, and I thought, well, it's pretty obvious to use a light bulb as your main focal point, and you could do this as an individual goal with lots of bite-size goals round it to meet the main thing. So if this one was, I don't know, say confidence, then all the different things that could help you build on your confidence. Or I like to use this one also for the beginning of the year, which we're 3 months into now, so I definitely need to update mine. You could put 2017 in here, and then you could say home and DIY. So for in the year, you could have all the different things and jobs that you want to achieve in that year for that. It could be places you want to visit with your family. And then obviously personal goals as well, and it's a nice thing to keep reflecting and going back to, and then building it into your plan within your month. These pages can be set up however you like, wherever you like. You could have a whole divider section of just sheets of printed off goals if you like. You could print off a month with your monthly planner spread and a goal in every month. You can choose. It's entirely up to you. These are templates for you to build on. There's a to-do list. So this is exactly what I mean by a template. And I will be showing you how you can alter these things in a basic graphics program. So obviously everybody likes to use a basic to-do list for your everyday tasks. But not only that, you could put W1, W2 for week 1, 2, 3 and 4. And be able to record things ahead of time. Now, the reason I say that is a lot of people, when they're planning, and this goes for everybody, you can't plan up as in advance as your planner starts to fill up in your diary. So a lot of people use post-it notes for all of the things that they want to put on their planner that needs to be there, but you want to decorate it, so you don't want to put anything down in concrete because you want to decorate it. The thing is, mine always seem to fall off, and yeah, I might be a little bit rough with mine. So this is where I can actually put it in as a page, and as it's filling up on week 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then I've got it permanently in my planner, hole punched and safe and secure, and I can just put it into that month and then pull it out when I'm trying to make up my pages, and I'm never going to lose it. So the other thing is, you could even do it as months. You could put January, February, March, April, so you've got 4 months planning, because some people like to put all of their months in their planner. Some only like to carry around 3 or 4. So again, entirely up to you. But if I'm doing that, then I can record a few overview things just on here. without putting it on my main grid. And I know, and I've done this myself in the past, I've done it in pencil, but it doesn't always come out. You get the indentation, and if you're colouring with pencil crayons or anything like that, it will always show through, and nobody likes that. It's like the coin rubbings. So, I think this template is very versatile, and all you need to do is to either use these or add a bit of text in next to them, or over text over them. And again, I can show you how to do that. And you might think, oh gosh, why is there so many folders in this? Well, one, so you can have it in categories, so you know exactly where to find the to-do list. It's not just literally a load of files just in one big zip. But also, it's like a ready set up template folder. So if you do make this into week 1, 2, 3, 4, January, February, March, whatever you do, you can save those and add them into this folder. So you're building your own templates up for the future. Plus, if there's a favourite icon or drawing that you like to have on your, say, your note paper, and it's a nice little fountain pen with a swirls or whatever, and you know that you will always want to be able to print that off at a drop of a hat, you could put that on there, save it, and keep it into the notes section, or the to-do, whatever you want to do. It's like your own little mini saving filing system to be able to go back to. Next one, we have got this one. This is obviously quite easy to see, your monthly overview for the year. And now this one's 2017, obviously, because that's the current year we're in. But obviously, as we click over into a new year, my product will always be updated. But those of you that have purchased or do purchase within the year will be able to always get a current document from my store. So, you'll always be able to keep up to date. On this one, you've got birthday list, important dates, and if you've got any gifts, ideas, you can also record that. Again, template, if you need more room for important dates but don't necessarily need to be able to make a list for gifts, you can edit it here and then resave it. The other thing I haven't mentioned is you can see you've got a double page spread here, and then you've got 2 singulars. Now this is if you want to be able to print in a different size, for example. So if I print and take off that, oh, is that going to print? That's generating a print. I don't want to print. Turn my printer off. Right, okay. So if I went to print, in your printer settings, you can print in many different sizes. Now I know that if I print this document on this, generally it will print it out on an A4 piece of paper, the good size, very similar to, say, a Happy Planner size page. You'd have to cut the page to the same page size, but the content in it fits nicely on that page. I cannot remember for the life of me what the diameters are, the dimensions, but one thing that I do have to stress is you've got things on different printers that say fit picture to frame or fit to borders or whatever. Please stick to one or the other. I generally have them switched off. I don't like it. See, it stretches it, so you'll end up with a planner page that fits an A4 and you can probably can't see, but it's missing some of top of 2017. Basically it will try and stretch it, and who wants a planner that is an A4 size? I mean, some of you may, and the option is there with this page, single page, yeah, it's there for you to do as you wish. You've got the option. What else have we got in here? We've covered that. There are dividers, which are again a basic template with monthly planning, weekly planning. So if you do love to do your dividers, which I know a lot of people do because it's the place that you can be most creative, and we can have a limited amount of creative space on a planner page, and if you really do want it to be usable, then you need to really be able to write in it as well. So you can completely go mad on your divider sections. Now within this bit you may or may not use it all. It depends if you're going to keep it all within January, February, March, all your stuff, or whether you're going to put for example, goals all in one place, to-do lists all into one place. But I've given you the option there to be able to make pages up of them. They are basic because you build on that, you know, it's just ideas. Within this section, it's your months. Now again, you've got them in double pages and single pages. You've got your tabs, and when you put it on, you're going to want to put it on the sections and go down. You've got two because you're going to want to be able to see it from both sides, and also it makes it more substantial to flick through, so it's not going to bend and crease so much. Again, when you make your pretty pictures, if it's digital, then you can save into this folder and keep using your April design or whatever. But you've got the main space, creative space, as you might say, to be able to work in, to make it really nice when you cut it down in here visually. They're just a little bit extras. What else have we got? So let's have a look. Oh, you've got two different ones. You've got circles as well. So I've given you a little bit of an option, the circles or the rectangles. Okay. Let's have a look at the monthly spread. Again, both in singles and your double spread. You've got enough to be able to for your little squares for all your months, and a little section where a little column where you can add your notes, your to-do lists, or just be really creative space, because it can be quite limiting on a month spread. Some people use it, some people don't use it. Some people use it in conjunction with their planner, weekly planner. It's entirely up to you. It is there if you want to use it. Weekly. There's your weekly. It is a basic grid. I've done this purely and simply, you'll see in a second, with the fact that there's no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, notes, whatever, because you can do what you like when it's just a grid. Some of you have different fonts with actual physical stamps and like to use those for your months or your days or your week, even the numbers for the dates as well. So if I had put them on there, that limits you. So if you don't have those stamps, I've got in tabs, where is it? Tabs. Oh, you're all screaming at me right now, aren't you? There you go. In tabs, where there is 2 pages on one A, it gets confusing, on one A4 piece of paper, with your months, some spare sections that you can write whatever you want in them. You've got your numbers, you've got your days of the week, you've got a few little icons and things and arrows and stuff that you may or may not want to use. It's the weekend, so you can put that over your Monday. I wish it was part of the weekend. Over your Saturday and Sunday. To denote the weekend. You've got some tabs that are completely clear in case you create your own sections, and you've got your monthly tabs. Now you'll be like, oh gosh, she's a bit nuts, she's put two of the same page in there. Now one's in JPEG and one's in PNG. Now those of you that don't know what a PNG is, it's basically transparent when put into a graphics program and you're working with layers. So for example, if I take this in here, as you can see, it looks all squarey. But if I put this image, which is a JPEG, and add it, oh, I've lost all me. There's all my commands back. So if I add it in here, you can see that I can put it over the top of any of this. Okay, and you won't see what is underneath it. Likewise, if in your layers you can move it over the top or behind and you will always see it, whereas if this was JPEG and it was under it, you wouldn't see that at all. So it just gives you a lot more creativity, and I can show you a bit more with that at a later date. So also as a bonus, you get your JPEG and your PNG version of a couple of little word art inspirational things to put onto your to decorate your planner. So for example, if I can get this in shot, this is the Make This a Super Day, and all I've done is, like I did with that layer, as I put it into the same document, is just to layer it over onto here. Now if you're not very good with that sort of thing or don't possess a program, you can do it in Word, or you can just simply print it out a little bit smaller and then print it over and then stick it in. It's, you know, you just work. The last thing you want to do is make things hard work for yourself, and you may or may not want to learn the technical side of graphics and graphic programs. So whatever works for you, if it looks good, that's fine. Don't make things hard work for yourself. So wanting to get pretty, that's what we're on to next. You get a image to work with. So for those of you that have never had a digital stamp before, only ever worked in physical, this gives you a taster of how you can, what to expect really. I've got loads in my store. So you get a PNG version, a JPEG version, and a pure PNG. It gets a bit confusing, I know what so basically a JPEG means it looks like it's on a white piece of paper. A PNG is transparent completely. Then I've given you another version, which is the image itself is white, but the outside is PNG. So for example, if you are wanting to learn layers, and I will go into it in more depth in a different video, you could put I don't know, a little pixie behind that book just peering out behind, but you won't see the rest of the pixie in its wing and all around here. Okay, so I'm not going to go into it in too much depth because that really is another video, but the three options are there for you to be able to develop and to use them. Otherwise, just print the JPEG and cut it out. The other thing is, you have these, I don't know whether you could quite see them here. Perhaps you can when I zoom in. You've got the double spread pages, which is all of the single images you've got on here. So for example, this one is just here. Okay, for easy printing. Okay, on your two A4 pages, but 4 A5 pages, if that makes sense. And these are to use on your monthly and weekly spreads. So for example, you saw this. When cut out, it will stick over, oh, get it in shot, over the top of your weekly. So there's a blank weekly been printed out, and then you can just stick it straight over the top, decorating it, colouring it, whatever you like, over the top of there. So you've, as you can see, you've got the columns as well for this one, the notes section, and you've got your weekly, and these are your monthly little squares. Okay, now I've given you the single ones again, so you can make your own sheets up of this. So if you have your favourite combination, so for example you need a whole sheet of these, you could just put them all onto a sheet yourself, save it as a JPEG, and you will always have a sheet of those at your disposal. Again, I will show you how to do that at a later date if you want to. Right, the last section in here is what's called ready to print. Now, they're in double pages, and you can print back to back with these if you so wish. You will have to figure out with your own printer the flip turn process to be able to get it all the right way. When you turn it, you're going to have your writing on the back and the front the right way up, because I don't know how many pages I went through before I figured out what my printer was. So for example, let's go to weekly, monthly and weekly. So you've got them all here, okay? You can't quite see, can you? All in here, you've got enough to print out back to back with, if you want. Or you can just print from the ones in those other folders back to back as you want to. It is that flexible. Okay, right, so now the fun part will be to have a look at, and I'm going to have to flip you down, and I'm sorry you're going to get a bit of a shadow, because the way the lighting is in this room, it's going to cast that shadow where I'm trying to tilt you. I'm sorry, are you feeling dizzy now? Right, no, it's still not quite back enough to see mine. There we go. Might have to tighten it a bit. Right. Okay. So, I have printed one out very quickly so that you can see roughly what I've been doing. Now, my front cover is still in paper, but I would recommend, obviously, it being based on some form of card, because it's going to be the front and the back is going to be the most, needs to be robust enough to keep everything neat. It's going to be in and out of your handbag, so possibly even laminating it would be a really good idea. So bear that in mind when you're decorating. Now, how are you going to put it together? It is completely up to you how you hole punch it and stuff. Now you can do your traditional 2-hole punch, your 6-hole punch, whatever you like, but I must admit I personally love the Mambi Happy Planner disc system, and this is one of them, one of the discs. It's just literally a disc that gets put onto through these holes, and it's as easy as this to take stuff out, and there's a lot of pages in what I've just poured out there, and they are fine. And then you just slip them back into the disc. This is the mini disc. They come in 3 sizes. This is the standard. I don't know whether you can see that. This is the standard size, and the mini. You can also get really big extendable ones. So that's the normal, and then you've got the extendable ones. I love this system. It is so easy to use, but it would be hard if you don't have the hole punch, and I did invest in the hole punch, and I wouldn't be without it. And it allows you to get this this unique-ish I think it's unique hole, which is, it is possible to hole punch then to do 2 slits, but it is very time consuming. And I got this on eBay, I believe it was, and I think it was about £30, £28, something like that, £30. It is very sturdy and robust. Absolutely fantastic springs. It's got obviously your cleaning tray that you can pull off. The only thing I would say is, yes, it does a decent size card, but never put in more than a couple of sheets at a time. I have had to unscrew all of these to pull out my paper because I overdid it. But if you're patient, it will be well worth it. So, okay, you're going to want obviously a nice front page. You would have so many ways you can decorate it. You can decorate it with pattern paper just from your card stash. There'll be plenty of ideas, tips and tricks in future videos and stuff, but obviously because I do digis, I've got some that I have coloured, and just to give you a bit of a look, you can make it so super cute. If you remember, I did a page with 2017 on it. You could cut it out, put it wherever you like, or put your stamp round it. These are quite big because I'd made these for my art journal, but I haven't actually put them in yet, so I just thought it'd be cool to show you how these would look. And wouldn't that look brilliant on, say, a July divider for the summer? And I've got a little cutie here, Sweetie Pies. These are from my Fruity Babes. They're very popular in my store. And again, the best thing about Digistamps is when you buy a Digistamp, not only are they a lot cheaper than physical stamps, but there's so many opportunities to use it. You can make it as big as that to be able to make a front cover. You can make it as small as you like to be able to put it on your page to coordinate it on your weekly planner. So, you know, with a bit of manipulating, you can have it any size you like. Okay, moving on. This is your planner belongs to, and as I said before, with this being a little bit bigger, that would look super cool as well. planner belongs to, or her a little bit bigger, on here, coloured. Should be great. Little hearts and things, or rainbows all round her. You know, that would really look awesome. I've got lots of others from in this range. This is the glue gun girl, the painter, and obviously they come in full size images. But if you particularly want the discs, which do make really cute planner dividers, then you will need to buy the bundle kit for the Crafty Girls, because these were an added bonus for buying the bundle. So don't buy the single of one of the characters and think that that will be in it, because it's not. Okay, so in here, I don't know whether I can get it back a bit, and it's not quite over the top, is it? You've got what I said, the 2017 yearly overlook, and you can decorate this however you like. Again, you've got space to put any cutie you like on there, or I've got some really sweet images of one of my honey girls, which these characters are called, with a parcel and you know, a cupcake. I seem to have lost that one at the moment. Oh, here she is. For the birthdays. Now, bearing in mind when you're decorating, obviously this one's a bit too big, but it wasn't actually purposely printed or cutted. So the word is cutted. Cut to the size I wanted it for this page, but bearing in mind, even if you reduce it a bit, you're going to be covering some of the areas you're going to want to plan. Now, it's one of those fine lines over decorative creativeness over actual planability, and sometimes one wins out more than the other, but we can always print out another one of these pages if we don't quite have enough room. So that's the joy of printing. Okay, right, what have we got next? There's our to do. Again, plenty of border decorations, with washi tapes, or cut off pieces of your 12 by 12 or 6 by 6, 8 by 8 papers that you use for your card making, ribbon, whatever you like. Colour it white, you know, use your Tim Holtz inks, and sort of like, you know, oh, I can't think what it's called. Again, you're screaming at me. You know, blend it all in and make it all look sweet, and use stickers, whatever you like. This is the goal page that I've made, and again on the back of that I've got a little notes section. Now I've put these, bunched them at the front, because I definitely want one, like I said, to represent my 2017, and then the rest will probably go in the back and be pulled out and put into a particular month if I feel that it's needed. Otherwise it'll stay in its own section, and I will print out a divider especially for goals at the back. Now I've got here, it says month April. This would be where I would have my front page, and you would decorate it with your digis or your stamps or whatever you want to do, and then I've got me month. Now when you print off, give me a second, because I've done this video I don't know how many times, and my iPad will only record certain amounts in timing before it says it's full. I've had it just completely stop on me. I've had so many different things. I've sort of misplaced bits and pieces. So, and it's never around when you want it. And I was going to show you a printed out sheet of those, and I think I've already used it somewhere, but it's gone. Anywho, I've got some here. You've got your squares that you would print. You print your sheets off, your double sheet, and then you would cut them out if that's what you chose to do the print, cut and stick method, which is I reckon the easiest. And then you just literally colour them up and stick them wherever you like. Bearing in mind that if they've got a pattern on it, it may not be as easy to write on it, depending on what colour you're going to do. So, that being said, you will find on those sheets where I did it for the, I shall show you, the weekly. Where's my weeklies gone? There we go. I've got weeklies here. The weekly. When you cut your sheets out, you will find two versions of the pattern. One solid and one slightly opaque. This is so it's a little easier to write on. So I've given you the two choices. So you use it however you like. You can decorate it, whatever you do, just enjoy the time creating and colouring and doing whatever you like. This is one of the borders, and I chose the one with the little notes at the side, and that was the one that I said we put one of the sentiments onto. And as you can see, you know, it looks very creative, and with your colours on it is even better. But then you can add your digi stamps as well. So again, not been cut to size, but this is one of my anime girls. She looks really stern and moody. She's from my Alien collection, and I thought she'd look quite cute over there. And one of my aliens, so goofy. And you know, put him over there, and I've got some little, I think these look quite spacey, these mushrooms, and you can just add them wherever you like. And then also in that sheet you've got like little speech bubble cloud type things that you can sort of also use with the characters that you're going to be putting on that page, or you could just literally put it as another space to actually write on your patterns here. So for example, you could put two there, and as you can see now, it's much easier to write on those spots. That one, as you can see, corresponds, but is able to go on to a weekly spot. The other thing that I haven't put on yet is it's the weekend. So you can either have it patterned or not patterned, it's entirely up to you. But it's best if both of them are either patterned or both not patterned, otherwise when you glue it you're going to get a bit of a bump. And then here we've got Saturday, oh trust me not to have them in order, Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, oh it's alive that one, I'm sorry, all you're seeing is arm, aren't you? And Friday, Wednesday, and again, you know, you could choose to use these or not, handwrite the days in, stamp them in if you've got stamps, however you really want to do it. What else can I show you quickly? Well, I pretty much covered it. obviously I've printed these back to back, so I have it for a month, bearing in mind that if you're doing a 5-week, the last one will need to be blank, or the page that you're going to want to be on that side. So hence, when I showed you the ready to prints, you had pages that looked like that, then pages that were just one with a blank. So you could put whichever page you wanted on that section. Again, if I made every page up back to back and everything, you would not have the creatability to set it up how you want to. So yes, there's a little bit of work involved in you know, setting your prints and all that sort of thing, but once you've actually got it sussed, got it sorted, got your documents how you want them, you just keep printing them out and decorating them and having fun. And that's what it's all about, because if you're having fun planning, then you're more likely to actually, you know, do your plans, because you're going to want to tick them off. You don't want anything to not be ticked, to ruin your plan. Okay then, well, for this one, I think that's the overview of this. You may or may not know, I did have one that was a bit bigger size than this, and then to those of you that actually purchased it, I resent out a version which was A5, which is this one. It was going to supersede that one, but I personally think that you know, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want the bigger size, and as much as we, you know, want to be economical, and some of us have to be economical with our paper and when we're cutting it and stuff, the A5 is perfect for that. But it's going to be, remember, it's going to be small, so if you've got large writing, not going to be a good one for you. So that bigger size is going to be back in my store very shortly, and those of you that I sent this one to, that's just a bonus for being my my guinea pigs, so to speak, on testing the product and going through the phases of what works, what doesn't work. And it's still, you know, going through an evolution, as you might say, and there are tips and tricks that I can show you in the future, where, you know, if this is too darker line and you want it more transparent, how you can lower the opacity in your graphics program. And if you prefer to have it at 70%, then you just set it 70%, print, or save, then print, and then you've got your opacity at that level for however long you want to be using it for. So yeah, I'm not gonna jabber on any longer. It's been lovely to chat with you all, and next time I may have the confidence to actually do it properly live, so there's interaction, but unfortunately I didn't really have the confidence to do that this time. And the next one will probably be on printing them, although it's going to vary because you're going to have your own printing. Your printer's going to have its own printing methods and stuff, so I'm not going to know that. All I can say is I know that to print mine back to back, it's twist and then flip and then put it in again, feed it in again. If I did it as a PDF file, I think that's what it's called, where it would just literally do it as one big large file, again, I'm dictating to you how your planner is going to be and what pages go on what. And again, although that would be, you know, the easiest option, the whole point of a planner is to personalise it to you so it's usable. And it may be at a later date, there may be a version that is, but for now I want this one to be very, very organic, so you can create your own planner how you want to. Okay, so probably a bit of decorating gonna be going on for the next one as well. So okay then, I shall see you the next time, and happy planning. Or is that already a slogan? Because I normally say what do I say? Happy scrapping, because obviously my name's Scrapper's Delights, and it just makes sense to say happy planning, but I don't know whether that's already trademarked, so somebody please let me know if it is, because I don't want to be using it and get told off. Okay then, ta-da for now, bye bye.